Hey, my name is Rabbi Gadi Levy. I'm a Mohel, a specialist in the field of circumcision. What I would like to talk about with you today is the concept of SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome. This is a disease or a cause, something that parents are so fearful of, and no one wants to talk about it. And I think it's worthwhile that it's important for us to express and just be aware of this thing, and it does exist, and it's a very, very fearful thing. The worst experience that any parent can go through is waking up in the morning and finding that their newborn is no longer in the world of the living. And it's worthwhile for us to talk about. The biggest challenge is, or the most painful part about SIDS, is that it is a mysterious disease, and that it's not clear exactly what is the actual cause of the death. But I do want to talk about this because parents sometimes are fearful that they want to make sure that nothing will cause, God forbid, could be a cause of it, and want to know if circumcision, if there is any science behind circumcision causing SIDS or not. The truth is that any research that has been done is actually the other way around, in that circumcision seems to disable infections of developing and in the body of the baby, such as UTIs or whatever have you, and that would play a role in avoiding or not having such an occurrence. But I think it's important to explain, in order to explain a little bit about SIDS, I want to talk about a phenomenal English jazz musician of this past decade, Amy Winehouse. Amy Winehouse, as many of you have, she basically revolutionized jazz music for the new generation. A phenomenal talented artist. And Amy Winehouse was a drug and alcohol addict most of her life. She had numerous episodes throughout the course of her life with regards to overdoses, went in and out of rehab. She even wrote a song about rehab. But ultimately, when Amy Winehouse died a couple of years ago, I'm not exactly sure when she died, she didn't have any drugs in her system. And although there was a bit of alcohol in her system, it really wasn't a significant amount of alcohol. So what was the actual cause of her death? It's not really clear what the cause was of her death, other than her body had been so abused over the course of her short 27 years of life that when she was in a precarious or sensitive situation, her body just couldn't continue, and it just stopped functioning. And that is something that is actually one needs to be so sensitive when one's dealing with addicts, alcohol addicts or drug addicts or whatever it may be, that people are in precarious situations, and because they're so sensitive, their body is so sensitive, that a little bit of small change that normally would not affect someone who's healthy, with those types of people, they can be detrimental and lethal. So in a similar way, with regards to a newborn, a normal person, we have the ability, if we have, let's say, for example, a sheet or a pillow that's covering our face, naturally our body is strong enough to move our face or avoid it, or the instinct or the natural capability of the body is there that moves us. A newborn is so much less capable, so much more vulnerable, that they may be more easily affected with regards to being affected and being the cause of SIDS. So I kind of feel to draw a parallel between addicts and newborns with regards to SIDS, or just in general the general health. It's just that their life is so much more delicate, and one needs to be so much more sensitive with regards to how one treats one's baby, how one is careful with one's baby. One wants to obviously be so much more careful with regards to high fever And if they're excessively crying or excessively sleeping or whatever it is, they're just more vulnerable. And therefore, we want to be careful about them and try and take care of them to the best of our ability. Getting back to circumcision, once again, if a baby has had a circumcision, circumcision enables them to fight off or be less vulnerable towards certain infections, such as UTIs, and therefore there's some research that talks about it being babies being less vulnerable. So there we have it. We needed to talk about it, but talk about it a little bit. We pray that no one should ever go through such an experience, and we pray that all of our children are healthy and well. If you want to reach out to me, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, myhomecircumcision.com. I look forward to being in touch with you.